By thinking, you manifest. This is yogic technology. The yogis talk about Siddha Sankalpa, which means a perfect thought. You have a perfect thought and it manifests itself into matter. Now, this is no longer philosophy. It is science. You can create through thinking. In fact, every creation takes place because of the thinking process. Now, in quantum physics, there is this concept called the observer. You observe, and through your observance, you create reality. The wave dynamics becomes particle dynamics. The waves are floating, and if you want the waves to coagulate into matter, to collapse into matter, you have to look into that wave. As soon as you look at the wave, it collapses into matter. I'll give you an example. You think about an apple. Now, the very act of thinking creates the image of the apple that is taking place at the subtle level. If you don't think about an apple, then you are not collapsing the waves into particles, into matter. So all the time, what you need to do is to think, and think it with focus, consciousness, sankalpa. And when you do that, then you collapse that thought into a material reality. The most interesting thing about this creation through the thought process is that it doesn't take too much time. You bring in time only when you collapse matter in another way. For instance, if you think that to make $1 million or to heal a disease or to stop bad dreams will take a long period of time. If you think that way, that will become the reality. But if you just think that I want to be functioning at the quantum level, at the speed of light, which is the speed of the electron. There are electrons going around the nucleus, and then you just ride on this electron and pick up the speed of the electron. The way you do that, imagine yourself or imagine a thought that you are thinking, and then put that thought inside an electron which is spinning at the speed of the light. then that thought will acquire the power of the electron, the speed of the electron. And when you do this, your psychology itself will change. Then you won't be like a robot-like thinker. Now your thinking is unintelligent, has no speed, has no focus, doesn't expect a result instantaneously. It is confused, it is goofy, it's unconscious. It has all these characteristics. The whole human race is a victim to this slow, goofy, unproductive, purposeless thinking, at least for most of the time, if not all the time. So you have to stop this process. And this is how you can evolve. So the moment you put this idea in your consciousness, the DNA will respond, the genes will respond, and they will create another reality. This is how you can heal your diseases, heal your money problems, heal your health problems, relationship problems, all kinds of problems. So these problems are basically thought patterns functioning at a very gross, unintelligent, unconscious, goofy, and low frequency level. The moment you become conscious, then you become the electron, moving at a great speed. Then you don't have to wait for a long time things to happen. Things must happen at the same time you are thinking. The word think and thing are very related. One is psychological, another is material. There is only one difference, the K versus the G. The G, it's very interesting. K and G, K, G. There is a secret behind this if you analyze it in the light of phonemic intelligence. So anyway, we have to get rid of our old ways of thinking.
the allosphere. It's a 3-story metal sphere in an echo-free chamber. Think of the allosphere as a large, dynamically varying digital microscope that's connected to a supercomputer. 20 researchers can stand on a bridge suspended inside of the sphere and be completely immersed in their data. Imagine if a team of physicists could stand inside of an atom and watch and hear electrons spin. Imagine if a group of sculptors could be inside of a lattice of atoms and sculpt with their material. Imagine if a team of surgeons could fly into the brain as though it was a world and see tissues as landscapes and hear blood density levels as music. This is some of the research that you're going to see that we're undertaking at the allosphere. But first, a little bit about this group of artists, scientists, and engineers that are working together. I'm a composer, orchestrally trained, and the inventor of the allosphere. With my visual artist colleagues, we map complex mathematical algorithms that unfold in time and space, visually and sonically. Our scientist colleagues are finding new patterns in the information, and our engineering colleagues are making one of the largest dynamically varying computers in the world for this kind of data exploration. I'm going to fly you into 5 research projects in the allosphere that are going to take you from biological macroscopic data all the way down to electron spin. This first project is called the allobrain, and it's our attempt to quantify beauty by finding which regions of the brain are interactive while witnessing something beautiful. You're flying through the cortex of my colleague's brain. Our narrative here is real fMRI data that's mapped visually and sonically. The brain now a world that we can fly through and interact with. You see 12 intelligent computer agents, the little rectangles that are flying in the brain with you. They're mining blood density levels, and they're reporting them back to you sonically. Higher density levels mean more activity in that point of the brain. They're actually singing these densities to you with higher pitches mapped to higher densities. We're now going to move from real biological data to biogenerative algorithms that create artificial nature in our next artistic and scientific installation. In this artistic and scientific installation, biogenerative algorithms are helping us to understand self-generation and growth, very important for simulation in the nanoscaled scientists. For artists, we're making new worlds that we can uncover and explore. These generative algorithms grow over time, and they interact and communicate as a swarm of insects. Our researchers are interacting with this data by injecting bacterial code, which are computer programs that allow these creatures to grow over time. We're going to move now from the biological and the macroscopic world down into the atomic world as we fly into a lattice of atoms. This is real AFM, atomic force microscope data from my colleagues in the Solid State Lighting and Energy Center. They've discovered a new bond, a new material for transparent solar cells. We're flying through 2,000 lattice of atoms, oxygen, hydrogen, and zinc. You view the bond in the triangle. It's 4 blue zinc atoms bonding with 1 white hydrogen atom. You see the electron flow with the streamlines we as artists have generated for the scientists. This is allowing them to find the bonding nodes in any lattice of atoms. We think it makes a beautiful structural art. The sound that you're hearing, the actual emission spectrums of these atoms. We've mapped them into the audio domain, so they're singing to you. Oxygen, hydrogen, and zinc have their own signature. We're going to actually move even further down as we go from this lattice of atoms to 1 single hydrogen atom. We're working with our physicist colleagues that have given us the mathematical calculations of the n-dimensional Schrödinger equation in time. What you're seeing here right now is a superposition of an electron in the lower 3 orbitals of a hydrogen atom. You're actually hearing and seeing the electron flow with the lines. The white dots are the probability wave that will show you where the electron is at any given point of time and space in this particular 3 orbital configuration. In a minute, we're going to move to a 2 orbital configuration, and you're going to notice a pulsing, and you're going to hear an undulation between the sound. This is actually a light emitter. As the sound starts to pulse and contract, our physicists can tell when a photon is going to be emitted. They're starting to find new mathematical structures in these calculations, and they're understanding more about quantum mathematics. We're going to move even further down, and go to one single electron spin. And this will be the final project that I show you. Our colleagues in the Center for Quantum Computation and Spintronics are actually measuring with their lasers decoherence in a single electron spin. We've taken this information and we've made a mathematical model out of it. You're actually seeing and hearing quantum information flow. This is very important for the next step in simulating quantum computers and information technology. So these brief examples that I've shown you give you an idea of the kind of works that we're doing at the University of California, Santa Barbara to bring together arts, science, and engineering into a new age of math, science, and art. We hope that all of you will come to see the Allosphere, inspire us to think of new ways that we can use this unique instrument that we've created at Santa Barbara. Thank you very much.